Hello and welcome back. So in the last lecture, we wrote the functionality where we are saving the logged in user data in the local storage. So if I go to our application, you can see that in the local storage, the details of the logged in user is saved. So we can see the access token of the logged in user, the email of the logged in user, the time when the access token is going to expire, as well as the user ID. Now what we want is whenever the page is reloaded, we want to read the logged in user data from the local storage and we want to assign it to this user state. For that, again, let's go to authService.ts and there let's first write a function to read data from the local storage. So here we have created a function to save data in the local storage. In the same way, I am going to create a function. I'll call it as readUser from local storage. Inside this, let me first write a try catch block. This catch block is going to get the error object if there is some error which has occurred while reading the local storage. And in the try block, we need to do few things. So first of all, let's go ahead and let's read the logged in user data from the local storage. For that, I'll create a variable. I'll simply call it as logged user. And to read the data from the local storage, again, we are going to use this local storage. On that, we are going to call this get item. And to this get item, we need to specify the key for which we want to read the data. So in our last lecture, to save the user data, the key name we provided as current user. So for this key, we want to read the value. So I'll pass that key name to this get item. And this will return us any data which is assigned to this current user key in the local storage. Currently, this current user is assigned with the user data. So we are going to read that user data. Now here, we also need to do some checks. The first check which we are going to do is we are going to check if this logged user has a valid data. Because in case if someone has deleted the logged in user data from the storage, so that is also possible. What I can do is I can go ahead and I can delete this. And you will see that the data has been deleted. So in that case, null will be returned for this logged user. So first we are going to check if this logged user is null or undefined. So here I'm going to use this not operator. So if this logged user is null or undefined, undefined and null is a falsy value, on that we are using this not operator, so it will become a truthy value, and in that case we are simply going to return null from here. Okay, so if there is no user data found in the local storage, we are simply going to return null, and this null we want to assign to this user state. The other check which we are going to do is we also need to check if the access token has not expired, because if the access token has expired, that means that access token is no more valid and we can consider the user to be not logged in. Now, how are we going to check if the access token has expired or not? For that, first of all, if this check is passed, that means if the logged user is not null or undefined, that means the logged in user data is present in the local storage. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a variable. We are going to call it as user. And now we know that this logged user is going to be a string value, because when we were saving it at that time, first we convert it to string type. So now when we are reading it, let's first convert it to JavaScript object type. So from the string value, we want to convert it to JavaScript object. And for that, again, I'm going to use JSON.parse. This parse method will convert any string value which can be converted to JavaScript object. It will convert that string value to JavaScript object. So to this, we are going to pass this logged user, which is going to store a string value, and we are going to convert it to JavaScript object. And that we are going to assign to this user variable. And we know that this user is going to be of type user. So let's also explicitly specify the type for that. And now we are going to check if user.expiresAt. So we saved the expiration time of the access token for the logged in user in this expiresAt property, right? So if it is less than or equal to the timestamp for the current date and time. And to get the timestamp for the current date and time, we can simply say Date.now. Okay, so if the expiresAt, if this timestamp is less than the timestamp of the current date and time, that means the token has already expired. In that case, we want to do two things. The first thing which we want to do is, since the token has already expired, that means the user is no more logged in. So we are going to remove that user data from the local storage. And for that, I'm going to use another method on this local storage, which is remove item. Which item do we want to remove? We want to remove the current user, because in this current user key, we are saving the logged in user data, right? So first we will remove that user from the local storage, and then in this case also we are going to return null, because since the token has expired, that means the user is no more logged in. So there is no logged in user available. So we will simply return null. Otherwise, if the logged user is available, and if for that logged user the token has not expired, we are going to just return that logged user which we are reading from the local storage. So we are storing it in this user object. We are going to return that user object. Here we need to return a JavaScript object. That's why I'm returning user, because as I mentioned, this logged user is going to store a string value. Okay, so we don't want to return a string value. Instead, we want to return a JavaScript object. So we are converting that logged user to a JavaScript object, and we are storing it in this user variable. And that user variable we are returning from here. Now, if some error has occurred in that case also, so let's say during reading the current user from the local storage, if any error occurred, in that case also, we want to remove that current user from the local storage. So I'm simply going to copy this line. I'll paste it here. And in that case also, we are going to return null. So if some error has occurred when we are reading the user data from the local storage, at the time also, we are going to return null. Okay, so in this way, we have created a method to read the logged in user data from the local storage. Now, when we are going to use this method, so basically what we want is, when this page is reloaded, at that time we are going to check if there is any user present in the local storage. If a user is present in the local storage and if the access token has not expired, we are going to read that user data and we are going to assign it to this user state. So for that, let's go to auth.actions.ts, and there we are going to create and export a new action. I'm going to call this action as autoLogin. Okay, and to create an action, we use create action function. To this, first we need to specify a type. So since we are going to perform this action on auth state, I'll simply say auth first in the square brackets, and then I'll specify a name, autoLogin. So this is the type. Now, for this action, we don't need to pass any props, because here during the auto login, we are going to read the data from the local storage. So here we are not going to pass any data when this action is dispatched. Now the next question is, when do we want to dispatch this action? We want to dispatch this action whenever this Angular application is initially loaded. So during the first load of this Angular application, we want to dispatch this auto login action. So we are going to dispatch this auto login from AppComponent. So let's go to AppComponent.ts file. From within this ng on init, we are going to dispatch the auto login action. So for that, we already have an instance of store here. On that, we are going to call the dispatch method, and there we are going to specify the action which we want to dispatch from here. So here we want to dispatch auto login, and we need to import it, and we also need to call it like a function. With this, let me save the changes, and let's just check if this auto login action is being dispatched or not. For that, let's go to our application, and there I'll go to Redux. Okay, here you can see the state. Let me move it a little bit up. So here you can see that during the initial load of this application, this auto login is getting dispatched. If I reload the page, you will see that this auto login is getting dispatched. Okay, and at this point of time, this user is null. Now, what do we want to do when this auto login action is dispatched? When this auto login action is dispatched, we basically want to read the data from the local storage. Okay, so when we want to read the data from the local storage, that is also considered as side effect. So since it is a side effect, we are going to handle it using an NgRx effect. So for that, let's go to authEffect. So let's scroll a little bit up, and there we have this authEffect.ts file. Let me retract this. Let's also retract this. And then we also have this login redirect. What I'll do is I'll simply call it as redirect, because if you see, we are using this effect for redirecting whenever we have login success as well as sign up success. So either we can call it as auth redirect, or I can simply call it as redirect. So let me just rename it. And let me also collapse this. And finally, let's go ahead and let's create one more effect. After this, I'm going to create one more effect. I'm going to call it as autoLogin, autoLogin dollar. Okay, and to create an effect, again, we need to use this create effect function. To that, we need to pass a callback function. Within this callback function, what we are going to do, first of all, we are going to get all the dispatched actions, and that we will have inside this actions dollar. And on that, we are going to use the pipe operator. And inside this pipe operator, we are going to chain some RxJS operators. And also from within this effect, we are going to return this. Now, the first thing which we need to do is we need to filter the action which we want to handle here. So for that, we are going to use of type. We already know this from our previous lectures. And here we want to filter for auto login action. So we are going to import it from author.action file. And once we have filtered it, we are going to use mergeMap. Okay. And to this, again, we need to pass a callback function. And this callback function of mergeMap, it is going to receive the payload which we are dispatching with this auto login action. Now in this case, for the auto login action, we are not dispatching any payload. So this action will be assigned with the value undefined in this case. But from within this mergeMap, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable. I'll call it as user, and we are going to get this user data by reading it from the local storage. And to read it from the local storage, in the auth service, we have a method called readUserFromLocalStorage. Right. So we are going to read the user from the local storage. So now what we can do is, once we have read the user data from the local storage, now again, we are going to call the login success, this action. We are going to dispatch this action, and there we are going to pass this user data. So for that, here we need to pass an object where it is expecting a user object, a user property, which should be assigned with user data, the user with which we want to set the user state with. And here, since the property name and the variable which we want to assign to it is same, I don't need to explicitly do the assignment. Okay, and here, from here, we also need to return an observable. So I'm going to use this off, and to that, we are going to pass this dispatched action, and this is going to return us an observable that we are going to return from here. And with that, the error is gone. So if I save the changes now, and now if we go to our application, let me move this a little bit down, and let me try to log in a user. So here I'm going to log in John. Let's say John at gmail.com, and for him the password is test1234. And when I click on this login, let me also go to Redux first. Okay, so just see what happens. So auto login has been dispatched here. Now let me click on this login, and let me click on this OK button. So you see login success is dispatched. This is because we clicked on the login button, and if I go to application, you will see that the logged in user data is also logged. Now let me go to Redux again and let me reload the page. And when I'm reloading the page, you see again the user is logged out and this user is set to null. Now why is that? That's because the effect which we are writing here, this autoLogin effect, we are writing it in the authEffect.ts file. Basically, we are writing it inside this authEffects class. And this authEffects class will be available only when the auth module is loaded. So if I go to authModule.ts file, there you can see that we are loading this auth effect lazily. So when we are reloading our application and when the initial load happens, at that time the auth module is not loaded. Auth module will be loaded when we move to login or sign up page. So till that time auth module is not loaded, and because of that this auth effect is not available. And since this auth effect is not available during the reload, this auto login effect cannot be called. So what we are going to do is, let's go to authModule.ts, and from here I'm going to remove this. Basically, I don't want to lazy load this auth effect. I want to load this auth effect when the Angular application loads for the first time. So I can also remove these two import statements from here. Let me save the changes, and now let's go to AppModule. And there we are going to load auth effect. And to use this auth effect, we are also going to import it. With this, if I save the changes and if we go to our application, now you will see that once the page has reloaded, since we have data, we have the logged in user data stored in the local storage, you can see it has automatically logged in that user. If I refresh the page, the user is still logged in, right? If I delete this token from here, and now if I refresh the page, now we can see the login and sign up page. That means no user is currently logged in. Let's go ahead and let's log in a user again. Let's say mark@gmail.com, and let's provide the password for that user. And when I click on this login button, now Mark is logged in. So you can see his email ID in the header. And if I reload the page, you can still see that the user is logged in. It is not showing the login and sign up page again when we are reloading the page. Now this user will be logged out when the access token has expired or this logout button is clicked. So we will implement this functionality in our next lecture. But here we have implemented the auto login functionality in our application. So now even if I reload this application, the user is still logged in. Okay, and this user will be logged in as long as we have this logged in user data in the local storage and the access token of this logged in user has not expired. The access token of this logged in user will expire at this timestamp. So when the date and time crosses this timestamp, after that, if we will reload the page, you can see the code which we have written here in the read user from local storage. There we are checking if the expiresAt is less than the current date and time timestamp. In that case, we are returning null. So at that time, the user will be logged out. I hope this is clear. All right, so this is all from this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to implement the logout functionality. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.